Kia ora, and welcome back to the Run Adjacent podcast, and Happy New Year. This is our first one for 2024, so let's get it on.
This is going to be special.
Our podcast is sponsored by Trick Trail and Fish. Visit them at 4 Wakeland Street in Carmo or online at tricktrailandfish.co.nz, where you can use my discount code RA10. That will get you 10% off your purchase, and any purchases over $150 will get you free shipping. For today's episode, I'm joined by Mal.
Yo, yo, yo!
I thought it would be a good idea to get you on this episode today, Mal, because we're talking about parkrun. I've done heaps of them, and you're still relatively new to them, so I think the yin and the yang and all that kind of stuff would be quite cool.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions, and I think we have a perfect guest today for me to get a whole bunch of answers to my questions. Our guest today is Whangarei Parkrun Co-event Director Ron Crowhurst, and I thought just to start it off, instead of kicking right into parkrun, we could actually hear a little bit more about Ron and when you started running, just some background there.
Well, I started, thanks for having me.
No worries.
Started running about 33, when I was 33 years old, after playing football, married, had a couple of kids, and my wife at that stage knew Jim Kettlewell, and she said, hey, we're going down to watch Jim run a marathon in Whangarei. So from then on, it was, okay, we're all going to go to Whangarei Harriers, and that's when my running started.
Huh.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind us asking, how old are you?
76.
Nice.
Did you, so after you saw Jim run the marathon, were you immediately inspired and decided, heck, I'm going to do that next year?
Yeah, well, after playing football for a while and not having done any sport or anything, let's get into it.
Yeah.
And went along to Harriers, and the first run was a cross-country run, and I got wiped out the back. I think I was second to last.
Oh, no.
And if this is running, do I want to continue?
Yeah,
I continued, and it was part of just became a family thing for quite a few years after that.
Yeah.
And joined the group. Yeah.
When was your first marathon?
Oh, when was that? When I was about 37, I think.
Okay.
Ran 3:32 it was the Pastor Marathon in Auckland, which started in Hillsborough and ran through Newmarket, Grafton Bridge, went all around, and in those days every council had its own traffic department, and we had different traffic control. I mean, the streets were just closed off for us, but there was no cones or nothing, but the streets were just closed off, and it was brilliant. I don't know how many ran it, but it was just a brilliant thing. Yeah.
That's different than the Auckland Marathon course that I ran a couple months back. That's cool.
Yeah, it wasn't flat; it was quite undulating.
Yeah.
If you looked at the course now, it was good.
Yeah.
It was a great event, and in that I got hooked after that for quite a few years.
And that was where you ran not the same year, obviously, but then you ran your fastest marathon time in Auckland.
Yeah, in Auckland many years later.
Yeah.
But my favourite one was Rotorua.
Okay.
That's like the pinnacle to me. It's not a flat course, and it's an honest, hard course, I think. And that was that's where I wanted to run most of my marathons down there, because it was good.
Yeah. Is that just because it's like a New Zealand classic?
It was. That was the one that everybody used to go to.
Yeah.
It used to be.
Okay.
You had to, if you hadn't run a marathon, you hadn't run Rotorua, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I guess I got to do it.
I don't know if this is true, but my dad has run a few Rotorua marathons, and he said when post-event they would always do up like a magazine, and it would have all the results in it.
All the results.
And the goal was to always try and get on that first page of result.
In the first 100, and I never did. but I got close. I got close a couple of times, but and I think my best placing down there was in my age group was about 10th in my age group.
Nice.
But they were running incredible times.
Yeah.
I went back and watched it after I'd finished running, and if I'd run my best time down there, I would have been in about the first 25:50. Wow! So the times have actually dropped. Times have actually dropped down for marathon running in New Zealand. There's a few there, but on the whole, I think marathon running the times have actually slowed.
Yeah.
At Rotorua.
Well, New Zealand
just
wide.
in New Zealand wide, I reckon. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. 'Cause I mean, I at times and that, and I would class myself as just an average club runner. You know, and a lot of them like Jim Kettlewell, Kevin Summerley, and all that sort of stuff. Our top runners, they'd be back in the motel, and I'd just be finishing.
But the fact that your PB was 2 hours and 50 minutes for a marathon, that's no joke. That is a really good time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's it. And I mean, I've been there, done it, and that's what I live on now. You know, I can tell you what.
250.
Yeah.
I've done 250 marathon. It's good. You know.
That's
and then you look at the others, and they're, you know, like Jimmy Kettlewell. You know, his times. I mean, he's done like 31 minutes or something around about that time for 10K.
Yeah. Nuts.
And it was interesting when I came back after my first one. I was at Whangarei, and Don Willoughby was one of the club coaches there, and he said, "What do you want to do now?" I said, "I want to break 3 hours." And he said, "Right, I'll give you a program, but there's no marathons for 2 years."
Oh.
And he said, "This is a 10K program, and every time you run 10K, you got to break 40 minutes."
Wow.
Okay.
That was
Damn.
That was my training for 2 years. Was I did half marathons in that time and that sort of stuff, but and I think I took something like about 25 minutes off I think my next marathon was about 3:07 or something.
So your coach didn't want you to run for 2 years a marathon.
I ran a marathon for 2 years.
And it was all specific to 10K training
running,
and halves, which is speed.
Yeah, speed training.
That's pretty
But
smart.
he said that's what you wanted. If you want to break 3 hours, you've got to run 4-minute Ks.
Yeah.
Heck.
Yeah.
And that's what we trained at. You know, that's what we were training for.
So doing those 10K training programs, how much time on your feet would you do in a week?
Oh, it would be out in the. We never. Like, we didn't have Strava, we didn't have those sort of things.
You didn't have plates in your shoes?
No, I didn't have plates in the shoes and whatever.
No Garmin fancy watches.
Yeah. And we had...
did you have gels?
No gels, nothing. We ran on water. Our training was water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh, that is a great... Okay, what was your marathon fueling then like? You really just drank water?
Water. I mean, if we're going to Rotorua, we'd just have water in the car, and we'd just drink, and we'd have about 3 or 4 pit stops on the way down.
You'd have
we'd
to.
We'd just drink water until it was going straight through our bodies.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we had, and then what you have, like, you know, you'd have a normal meal, you know, pasta or something like that. Get up and have a couple of bits of toast or something, and head off. And don't have too much to drink in the morning.
Yeah. Oh,
Because you'd be having stops all the way along, and drink at every drink stop. Start drinking every drink stop. You come to drink. Don't have to have a lot, but just drink every drink stop.
Yeah.
And it was only water. Luckily, you got Gatorade once or something like that.
Yeah.
But on the whole, it was just mainly water. And our long runs were in the forest on a Sunday.
Like Glenbervie?
Glenbervie Forest. And we had different names then. We had Gentle Annie, which was Lookout Hill.
Which is the Lookout Loop.
Oh, Gentle Annie.
Yeah.
The Marua circuit was the Three Sisters, because there was 3 hills in it.
I love that.
Yeah. And the group was called Mudlarks.
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 Locks or lucks?
Mudlarks,
Okay,
like the bird,
mudlarks.
mudlark.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we did have a T-shirt that you had to run Gentle Annie first, but I can't say what was on the T-shirt. I'll tell you after we're finished.
Oh, okay. I have one more question. So then did you track your Ks or your miles a week? Like, do you know what your peak miles were or what you were training at? You had no idea?
No, we just, like
Fascinating.
Wednesday night, we'd go to our club run, and we'd go hour and a half. Thursday night, there'd be 2 or 3 of us go from Kensington Park. We'd run up through Abbey Caves, round Memorial Drive, and then see who was the fastest up Fire Brigade Hill, up Den Street. We'd have a sprint up there and then run back to club runs and have a beer.
Nice.
Amazing.
Nice.
But it was just just running,
Yeah.
you know, and not a lot. Not a lot of other stuff. Water,
Yeah.
water and beer.
Water and Gentle Annie.
What a Gentle Annie and beers.
Yeah. And it was a good fun time.
No,
And-
that's awesome.
And the other thing we had was on Saturdays we'd have pack runs.
Pack runs.
Pack
Pack
runs where you'd
runs,
go
yeah.
off and in a group have about 3 groups. You run to the slowest person in that group, and then the leader would be appointed before we started, and about 2 or 3K out from the finish, he'd either say, right, go, and it was a race home.
Ooh,
I like that.
that's fun.
And those are good things, you know.
Yeah.
But the main things, our long runs were just slow,
Yeah.
yeah.
just slow time in our feet
Yeah.
and a bit of speed work in between.
Yeah. Like with the pack runs. I mean, that's
But
speed work. That
That's
last
speed
bit.
work, yeah. And then we were encouraged through the summer. We were encouraged to go to track and field, run on the track, and do all that sort of stuff, which I hated. But that's what you do.
Yeah. To get speedy.
Thank you so much for sharing all that info. That's so cool. I love those little history pieces. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't get the water out of my
Water's
Yeah,
good for you.
water.
Yeah, water.
Just, yeah.
lots of water.
You know, I just think. I remember one photo. Sorry, can I?
No,
one
you
photo
carry
that
on.
Steve Tracy put on the Hātea Run page when he was running Rotorua, and he had a photo. He had a singlet out there and his track and his race number and 8 gels. He was taking for the run. I always remember that. Sorry, Steve, but now what would have we been able to do if we had all that stuff? way
That's
back
what
then?
I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we would have had, but
Yeah.
but it was good times.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
have missed it for the world. Yeah.
Simplistic. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Should we get on to parkrun?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get into parkrun though, we're going to read a few testimonials. I basically just reached out to a couple of our listeners and I just said, can you give me a brief summary of the impact that parkrun has had on your life? So, Mel, if you don't mind reading Diane's, that'd be awesome.
Yep. So this is Diane Zucchetto. Parkrun has enriched my life through being part of a community of like-minded people. Having that community to learn from and support each other and seeing friendly park runners at running events has made entering events less intimidating. Even traveling overseas, the sense of community and belonging draws you in despite language barriers. I have met some inspirational people through parkrun. People who have broken barriers, people who have or had health challenges, people who have persevered through what life has dealt to them, and New Zealand representative athletes. And those who run crazy distances and super fast times that I can only dream of doing. Parkrun also provided a safe and supportive environment for my mom so that I didn't need to worry about her walking alone. So that's Diane's. Yeah.
Thank you, Diane.
Yeah.
I love that. What I love about it is that she's not even talking about running.
True.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about the people. It's about the community. It's
It's about persevering and
Yeah.
about challenges. And
yeah, and it's about the people that she's met.
yeah, it's about that welcoming environment.
Yeah, and that's what parkrun is about. It's community. It's for everybody, you know, and
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to read Grant Loveridge's. So Grant is relatively new to parkrun. I thought it'd be cool to get almost like a newbie's perspective on what parkrun has done to them. So here's Grant's. I started my Whangarei parkrun journey back on March 25, 2023, which was a few steps out of my comfort zone. I managed a time of 31:37. From that first run, I was hooked. Being the competitive natured person that I am, I couldn't wait to give it another go and improve my time. Well, fast forward to my last effort, Whangarei parkrun number 372 in a time of 25:03. It's a huge improvement in my overall fitness. I have met a lot of very nice people along the way, and I'm going to take the next step in my running journey this year by doing my first half marathon and joining a running group, Hātea Run. With sensible diet, with sensible diet and with my running, I've managed to drop approximately 15 kilograms in weight within the last 10 months. Someone even asked me if I had weight loss surgery recently. If I can do it, anyone can. Let's go.
Oh,
that's
I
brilliant.
love Grant's.
It's
Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
so from a relatively newcomer's perspective, he's got immediate health benefits out of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And from what I can read into that is that he's building a running habit.
Yeah.
That's what's great about parkrun is you've got consistency.
Yes. Yeah.
It's on every Saturday, right? So yeah, like you just build that into your running routine almost.
And
But,
who isn't competitive? Like even within themselves. I think that's what's so great about parkrun is you could just show up and walk it, and you could compete it with yourself of like, I'm just going to try to be faster every week. But even if that's not your goal, like I think feeling so supported by the community and by the people, whether you're walking or running, whether you're doing it for health or for speed or again for just making friends, I think it's a great environment.
How do those testimonials?
Well, to me, that's what it's great to hear people saying that.
Yeah.
And what we've just seen with Colin Thorne.
Yeah. Do you want to talk
a little bit about
Well,
that?
the stuff that we've had, the people like TV1 on that, we've had newspapers asking for his contacts. He's had all that sort of stuff. We've even had one that's come from England. A lady, she's in TV production. She works for Disney and some other company.
Holy heck.
And she's looking at she's on a project. She didn't say what it is. And she's a park runner. She's interested in Colin. So I've emailed stuff back to Pauline because she wanted Colin's email. Colin don't have an email. No. He's not on Facebook. He's not anywhere except at home. So, and I got an email back from her saying, yes, I've had the reply back from Pauline. And I asked her, where was she from? She's from Parkrun in England. It's the smallest one in London.
Oh.
But she's aiming to do 100 different parkruns. Okay. That's her goal.
Right.
So I just like to check these people out and say, hey, they're a parkrun. Okay, what parkrun do you come from? And just check me out to see if they're real. But no, she was good.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. So Colin has just been an inspiration to so many people. And I've had 2 people used to come to Whangarei Harriers when I was there, and they have registered and they turned up last week, and they were both there again today, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
So that Colin has inspired them, and he's inspired so many people.
Yeah. So
and he's just such a friendly guy.
Yeah. Just quickly on Colin, he's 100 years old, and he's done 176
today
parkruns now. So that what's the record about him? Sorry,
he was the oldest person to get 100 parkruns.
Right.
He's now he's not the oldest in parkrun, but the others haven't got anywhere near the parkrun.
Near that amount of parkruns,
He's some of them only got 2 or 3,
right.
Which is good. I mean, they're still doing it. They're still doing it at that.
Yeah.
But Parkrun UK they just love him.
Yeah.
I mean, when they send Parkrun Australia sent what was his name, Charlie. They sent him out from Australia last Friday. Flew him in. Rental car, put him up in a hotel in Whangarei on Friday night. He did the video.
Oh, Charlie was the guy running around.
They sent him in and sent him over, and he's our TV or video ambassador for Parkrun Australia. And they paid for all that to get him out here. So I mean, that's how important Colin is to Parkrun. Yeah,
just some context for our listeners. So Charlie, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was there that morning, I mean, he's recording the whole thing, and he did such a beautiful job. You can watch the video on Parkrun, but I mean, he recorded him from the very beginning, and all the footage is done so well. So it's pretty cool that they got him all the way from Australia to there, and it's a lovely video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, is it on the Parkrun New Zealand Facebook page?
It's on our It's on the Whangarei parkrun.
It's on
page,
the Whangarei parkrun
page.
Yeah.
But it's also, if you go to YouTube,
Yeah.
put in parkrun. I think it's all on parkrun YouTube pages as well too. Yeah.
We could probably link it at the bottom of the show notes even.
Yeah, we can
the
find
YouTube.
it.
Yeah, just so that listeners can watch the video. It's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty
beautiful.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Well, after reading those testimonials and after getting some more introduction of Ron with running, I think we can move on to parkrun. And me, I just want to acknowledge that I moved to New Zealand in February last year. And parkrun was the first event. I've never been to parkrun before. In the States, unfortunately, it hasn't taken off quite as much as it has in the UK and internationally. And so for some of my stateside listeners and just people that don't even know what parkrun is, can you tell us? Yeah.
Parkrun's a free, fun, friendly, timed weekly 5K community event. It's free to enter. You can walk, jog, run, volunteer, or just come and spectate. It's up to you, your pace. Do whatever you like. I think a lot of countries put on events for people making money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, that's why these events that go on, you pay money to get into, and that you don't pay anything for parkrun, but you still get your time emailed to you.
Yeah.
And that can be within half an hour of the event finished.
Yeah.
It's just a community thing. It's free. It's fun. You make it what you want to. You can be PBs or whatever.
Yeah. It's so easy to sign up too, and you just have your barcode and they scan you, and it's a really easy event to show up for.
Yeah.
When did the conversation of Whangarei parkrun first start? Who were those forefathers?
Jim Kettlewell. I got a phone call from Jim Kettlewell again. He blamed him for a lot of stuff.
Mentioned a lot in this podcast.
I'd stopped running due to work for about 12 years, work commitments, and after I retired, I just sat around doing nothing. And I used to go and help Hātea Harriers at some of their runs, just timekeep or be a marshal or whatever. He rang me up and he asked me, had I heard about parkrun? No. He said, well, have a look at this webpage and I'll come around and see you on Thursday. He came around on Thursday. I said, yes, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I thought, heck, haven't run for 12 years.
Oh, no.
What do I do? If I'm going to be involved in this, what do I do? So I found a pair of running shoes and walked up to the dam and back.
Yeah. So you live in Carmo?
Valley.
Fo Valley,
yeah. On the road up to the dam.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it took me ages. But since then, I've lost over 20 kg.
Oh.
Wow.
So when I stopped running, I didn't stop eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good runner's habit. You eat. Anything's in front of you eat it. I didn't do that, and so the old weight went on. It was an office job. We were sitting on my bum all day.
Yeah. When was this like 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
2000. It was September, October 2015. I think Jim came around.
Okay.
Right.
So
he had more or less a course in place, ideas of the course.
Yeah.
I think he and Neville Bassett had measured the course.
Yeah.
And we had a few meetings, and it was mainly Hātea Harriers that started parkrun. The committee we had a little committee going, and that was it.
So is it Jim and Neville that chose the location?
I think Jim chose the course.
Okay.
And there were some requirements that Jim couldn't do what he wanted to do.
Okay.
Because Jim wanted to run up to the bollards on the concrete path over the bridge and then turn right. But the regulations where you had to have, if you're running on a footpath next to a road, you had to have a barrier between you.
Oh, that's a parkrun regulation?
That regulation.
Right.
So that's why we crossed the grass. That path was, when you came, their path was there.
Yeah, so there's a nice path
but we
there.
actually wore wore a path across the grass, and it was just dirt.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, and we were very lucky that the mayor was Cheryl Meyer. She was really in favour. She's a park runner. She was there today.
Yeah.
She would say, "What could we do for you?" And I said, it would be nice to have a path there. She said, oh, well, when that photo obscura was being built there, it's all landscape for there. And every year she'd say, look, I've tried, but it's not in the budget this year. So, yeah. So we're very lucky with the loop down there.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And quite funny, I didn't even know the loop was there until Jim talked to me about parkrun. I'd never been down there.
Whoa. Did she help with the posts that are on the turnarounds for both spots?
Yeah,
then?
the council put those in for us.
Okay.
Yeah, council put those for us, and even shifted them. The start one, they even shifted that when. Oh, you will remember that the start-finish area wasn't like that originally. That grass area was a car park.
Do you remember I showed you the photos of the car park at the beginning, and it was just gravel.
Yeah. Funny. Wait, did it get really dusty when everyone would pull up, or?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And I don't even think there was public toilets in 2016.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think there might have been. I'm not sure. No. So,
but yeah, like there was no.
There's no coffee place there. There was nothing. Yeah.
Thank goodness, like we've got coffee and bathrooms now, because those are some serious necessities.
We all used to go into the town basin, into the Mocha Bar and all those sort of places.
Yeah. Oh, fun.
What makes Whangarei Parkrun unique?
The bridge, of course.
That's the easy answer.
And the real friendly community.
Yeah.
You know, we're very lucky.
Yeah.
We've got a great group of people that come along. But I don't know, just one little thing. I think it's one of your questions a bit later.
Yeah.
We've had nearly 3,500 people register for parkrun in Whangarei.
Yeah.
We don't want them all to come at the same day. But we've only had 452, up until last Saturday, 452 people volunteer.
Right.
Yeah, that was my next question was like, is this a mix of like, what goes on with volunteering? Because to run parkrun, you rely on those volunteers.
During the week, we have about 25.
Okay.
We need to put it on. But a lot of them are during the week. Like I'm the volunteer coordinator for it. And my job starts today. This afternoon when I go home, I'll update the roster. Yeah. And Monday night I'll put out a request for volunteers. But this week we don't have to because we've got a full roster already.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really tricky. So what was it? It was 3,000 registered parkrunners from Whangarei and only 450. Yeah,
from 2016 till today, till last week.
Volunteered. It's tricky. When parkrun first started, I would try and do 1 in 5.
Yeah.
5 runs, 1 volunteer. But as it's kind of growing, I've found it quite difficult to volunteer. So I've trying to do 1 in 10.
Yeah, that's plenty.
And I think that kind of shares it around with everyone.
That's good. If everybody did 1 in 10, we would have no problems.
Yeah, there'd be no issues.
But the problem is people want to run and volunteer, and there's not very many that you can run and volunteer as.
Yeah.
But I mean, we get there. We've got some people like Ricardo, the photographer.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's Diane's volunteer. Jan's my volunteer. Doesn't she come along? He just comes along, does the photography. I mean, that's that's 2 people that are there, but they're there every week.
Yeah, when I first moved here and being a new park runner, I had no idea what the standard was, and I think I kind of was like, well, what do I do? Yeah. When do I volunteer, and when? Because now that I think I'd participated at least in 10, and I got the drill of, okay, so we turn around here, and they're handing out. The first time I ran parkrun, I actually was one of those people that almost took the chips home.
The finish token.
The finish token. I had the finish token, and I was like walking around in the parking lot, and I think I asked Dennis, I'm like, Dennis, what do I do with this? And he's like, you didn't have them scan it? And so, I just was very oblivious in the beginning, but over the 10th time, I understood and thought, okay, when is a good time to volunteer? And I don't know.
It's when you can.
Yeah. Whenever you can, really.
Yeah.
When you can.
Okay.
No, if everybody volunteered once a year, you'd most probably have enough.
Yeah.
If you could put a schedule out, you're going to volunteer this day, you could do most probably 1 a year, and that would be enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to say one more thing about volunteering, I broke my foot in December, and I think if it wasn't for parkrun and being a part of a run club, I would have felt really even more sad or left out. But because of the volunteering positions that are available, I felt almost not happier, but I had a ball sitting on the corners
with the microphone.
Yeah, with the microphone, or when I got the turnaround corner and I got to just sit on the chair. And so I think for people, if you ever get injured, don't stop coming to parkrun. If anything, that's the best opportunity to find some time to volunteer.
Yeah. Bring a chair, or if you can't, bring a chair.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can even write the run report.
Yeah. I always get so anxious with that. But yeah. Like, nobody read mine.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I see all the comments. I don't know whether everybody else sees the comments on Facebook, but
okay.
I see all the comments and that. No, they're all good.
Cool.
Are there any common issues that arise with Whangarei parkrun?
Yeah.
I don't want to be all negative, but
No, it's congestion in the first K and a half, 2K. That path is narrow.
How do I describe it for you?
For people that have never ran the course.
So Whangarei parkrun, the course is what I would call a double-ended out and back. You're almost running a U. So for the first, running out to the first turnaround, you're then running back into 200, 300 people.
Yeah.
So that can cause congestion.
That's where we get the most incidents from. We had one today, but it wasn't. It wasn't that. It was just he tripped. I think he hit someone's ankle or something and went into the middle of John Kent.
Oh, no.
It took a skin off his arm and that. But and then we've got to we've got to put an incident report in against it and all that sort of stuff. But it's all good because at least we know that something's happening. We ask him, "What did you do?" You know, because the path is still open to the public.
Yeah,
and that's why we try and emphasise keep left all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but to me that's one of the reasons. That's one. Yeah, that's probably the most sticky point.
Yeah, and I think you guys, like, despite that, I think you guys still do a good job. Like, you put out your notification the day before, don't you?
Yeah, I put
like
it out
on a Friday.
I put out Friday morning, one each end of the.
Yeah,
of
someone
the
has to go out of their way to go put those signs up the day before. Which is a bit of effort and
I think, and like when I have volunteered on the first turnaround, because that would be the most congested spot, people that are walking that clearly are tourists or just have never even been to Whangarei and they're trying to do the loop, they'll ask me, or I'll just mention to them like, hey, there's going to be a whole bunch of runners coming in the next couple minutes, and by runners, I mean like close, 100 plus, like 200 or 3, and they're walkers. And so either they're like, oh, cool, or they'll just turn around and walk the other way. I'm like, well, next week come. But I think.
And nobody reads notices.
Yeah, they just walk right past them.
Nobody reads. I mean, I worked for a hospital and we used to put notices up. Nobody takes notices off notices. No one reads them. It's a waste of money. You shouldn't put any notices anywhere.
I've found at that first marshalling point, the one time I did it, I tried to tell someone, I said, look, there's going to be about 150 runners coming straight at you. And they go, oh, whatever.
Okay. All right.
Well, I think I heard one lady, she put her elbow out, and I just say to, they've come, when I've been a run director, they've come up to me and they've said, and I said, well, put your shoulder out. You're entitled to be here. Put your shoulder out, and knock them, put them into the water, whatever, But you've got to be, I find you always got to be apologetic. And sorry, we're doing the best we can. Don't get grumpy at them.
No.
They're allowed to be. You've got to be, hey, if you're walking around the loop, why don't you come and join us?
I know. That's usually what I do. Yeah. Is there anything that would be changed with Whangarei Parkrun in the future? Even, because I think about that, the amount of people.
Yeah. Well, we've got an alternate course. If the little bridge is closed, we haven't got one of the big bridges closed. So I'm looking at that on the other side. I met you. I went down there the other night.
Dwayne and I.
With Dwayne. I'm looking at one on the other side, which it would get approved, but it's just I'm not quite ready there for it. But I don't want to change it until we really have to.
Yeah.
To 288 people today, we're comfortable with that, and we've always said 300 to 400 is more or less getting to our limit.
Okay.
But I think Martin has got a meeting with a couple of guys down at Marsden Point area.
Ooh.
And they run down there, down Marsden, Ruakaka.
Okay. Is that like is it would be a footpath run?
No, I think it would be a little bit off-road sort of
cool.
stuff. And I mean, I'm always thinking of, hey, let's run on the beach, because there's a lot of parkruns that run on up and down the beach there, and you most probably could do that out there.
Yeah.
So I'm all for another parkrun around here. Unfortunately, I don't think there's enough space, enough good areas in Whangarei for another one.
Yeah.
There might be one with a new walkway up to Carmo.
Yeah,
When
okay.
that finishes, you might be able to get a 2.5 on there. I'm not sure. I'll have a look at that. But
Yeah.
I want to stay where we are at the moment, because I think
Yeah.
the bridge is an attraction. It's the only parkrun in the world that's got a bridge that
Lifts up.
in the middle of it. So
My dad and his wife visited, and I did parkrun with them that morning, and the bridge went up 3
times.
Yeah, it was, and I was like, "This is it, Dad. This is why you're here. This is the only parkrun in the world, and you're gonna experience it." It was and then it was so fun watching, because the first place runners, it is such a unique experience, because then you backlog the first place runners on the other side of the bridge, and then it's a sprint to the finish. The last, how many meters is that?
That's about 300
Yeah,
meters.
just 300 meters.
Yeah, 300-meter sprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, it is unique, and it's good fun. I mean, if you go to parkrun, if you come to Whangarei Parkrun, you've got to realise that you might get stopped halfway through, and the bridge goes up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't complain about it, because that's why you're here.
Yep. Yeah. It is
And if
unique.
you're going for a PB, sorry.
Yeah.
Don't go on high tide.
Yeah. If you're going for a PB, come back next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did go
That's-
up today after everybody had finished, so it was good.
Nice.
Ron, what would you say to a new runner or walker that's interested in joining parkrun?
Register. Come along and have fun.
Yeah.
And see who you meet. I've got more friends now through parkrun than my old running days. Some of them are starting to come back, but most of my friends now are parkrun people.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I've met so many
Yeah,
cool people from parkrun.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's turned me into a nutty runner.
Yeah.
And I'd say to running clubs, don't be frightened of parkrun. Look what's happened to Hatia Run.
Yeah, well, when...
Jim and I, I was on the committee, and
Yeah.
Jim and I were talking about it, and Jim was concerned, he was the president, he was concerned about the number of people that were turning up, because we had parkrun was there. There was more officials at Hatia than they were having runners, and we sort of, in the forest, what do we do? And jokingly we said, well, why don't we make parkrun Hatia's Saturday run, and make Hatia a year-round Harrier club, because before they were only a 6-month club.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we went back to the committee and we said that, and look where we are. We've got, I think there's about 20 or 30 members then in those days, even if that many.
When was that? 2016?
I don't know. No, it was a couple of years. Might have been 17 or 18,
Yeah.
2017 or 18. that
Yeah.
we decided to
Had
do
about
that.
30-odd members, yeah.
Oh,
and now we've got,
exploded.
what, 60, 70?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. We had
The
95.
president.
90.
Yeah, we had 95 last year.
Yeah.
This year we're at about 65. But yeah.
Jim was even invited to Athletics New Zealand AGM to speak on the fact of what the advantage of parkrun was to Harrier clubs, and a few have taken it up, but you pick people up, you do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know how many people. We must have picked up about 40-odd people, 40, 50 people from parkrun, and with families and that sort of stuff. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, as an outsider, the first thing I did when I moved to the country was go to parkrun and met 20 plus runners, and immediately was joined the Hatia Harriers, because the next day they said, oh, we're going to run Nungaru over at Steve's batch. And I mean, from the beginning, I was hooked to run, just finding the people that I want. Like, I wanted to find people to run with. And that first week in New Zealand, I was running by myself solo, and then from that point on, after when I went to parkrun, I was able to continue running with a group of people.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not the only one. I mean, there's so many people I've met at parkrun and told them, hey, come along to our Wednesday run, or just they find that running community so quickly.
Yeah. It's even like the guy I'm a VI guide, vision impaired guide for Steve. Now he's got a 3:21 marathon time at Rotorua.
Wow.
Does he?
Yeah.
That's legit.
That's good.
3:20. Yeah, and he was president of Ruakaka. There used to be a club, Hera Club out Ruakaka, and he was president of that. And I used to run against him and that, young group team races and that. And I didn't see him for a while, and then I saw him walking around with just a white cane, and then a lady brought him along to a Achilles lady brought him along to parkrun. And man, hey, I know you, from way back when.
Yeah.
So I become a VI guide. I got trained, and now he's coming to Hātea Wednesday night runs.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm trying to get him to come in. Most probably will come up to the night series.
Oh, perfect.
And we'll see if we can start 10 minutes, 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
It's a bit slow. 40, he must really do 45 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
So we'll get a bit of a head start on everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's that's the cool thing about parkrun is it's almost like Whangarei's running hub.
Yeah.
You've got the meeting of, you'll get Hātea members down there. You'll get the speed freaks down there. You'll get Athletics Whangarei down there.
Yeah.
You'll get the Hash House Harriers down there. There's so many running groups that all congregate on that Saturday.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know what they do. They solve the world's problems from there.
Yeah.
And good things happen.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
If you go into your profile on Parkrun profile, you can put your club. You can select your club or put your club in there, and then when the results come out, your club will be beside your name.
Yeah.
So, I want to see as many clubs put them in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just the Hātea Harriers. It's hard to, like, if you want to just show up at parkrun, do the parkrun, and leave, it feels impossible because there's so many people to visit and talk to and listen, and it's just such a easy place to have a yawn.
Yeah, and hear all the lies about their training.
Hear all the lies about the
Talk about our war victories and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
No, it's just a community, great community sport.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a sport. Well, it is a sport.
Yeah.
But it's health and fitness, well-being. That's all a part. It is. And I mean, a lot of doctors in the UK are now prescribing parkrun.
Yeah.
To their clients. So that, whether it's just be the social contact, not even just go along, volunteer and meet people, for the people that are a bit depressed or on their own, go along to parkrun, join in.
Yeah. I'm a speech therapist for the hospital, and in Northland, there's 350 people with Parkinson's in our area, and I try to work with most of those patients, not all of them, but I tell them every week, I'm like, there's parkrun, and even if you just walked the 1K out and back, or even just took your time, then socializing, and it's a very safe environment. You will feel safe and not intimidated by people. That's a lot of walkers that come out and
I've got
do it.
One of our friends was a runner. He's got early stage of Parkinson, and I'm trying. Most probably, we're going to try and get him down there after Easter. Yeah, just to maybe do barcode scanning or something like that.
Yeah,
just so that he's out there and he's doing something.
Yeah,
he's a fabulous wood turner and all that sort of stuff, but just to get out and do something different.
Yeah, any of those degenerative diseases, it's if you can try to maintain as much socialization and exercise in whatever capacity, then you're going to reduce the risk of declining faster. Yeah. And so trying to get people to stay out and stay active. That's why COVID was so hard when people were not able to socialize. But again, just volunteering and showing up is good. Yeah.
And you don't have to do it every week.
No.
Just every other week, whenever. Yeah. So hopefully, we might get Don down there, but
that's cool.
We'll try.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What do you want to do next?
Do we want to say any fun facts, or are we good? You do? Maybe we'll have.
Yeah.
You want to talk about fun facts?
You want to talk about fun facts?
Okay, I just got an update on Colin.
Okay,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
the
He
update
didn't-
on
he
Colin?
He didn't break, like, his age group before was 117.61% when he was 99.
So that's essentially a new world record, right?
That's
Yeah.
because it's based. The age group is based on that for that. Yeah. Down in Gisborne today, he did 57.41, and he's got the age group down there for him is 119.71%. So Martin, my car event director, he's got if he comes back, if he can do 51.12 at Whangarei Parkrun, his age grade percentage would be 121.72%.
Wow.
So,
Amazing.
he's just amazing.
Yeah.
And I know Pauline gets requests from all parkruns around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she would.
They're down in Invercargill, down to
bet.
Dunedin. They want him to go down to Dunedin, but his request is you've got to take the steps out first. And he's bright as a button. you
Yeah.
know. But that's
Cool.
So it's just up there. He's just incredible.
Yeah.
And when I run, that's what I look at, my age group.
Yeah.
Age group percentage. That's
Yeah.
how I try and keep it.
Who's the highest female?
Large female Judith, what's her name? Judith Stewart.
Yeah.
Okay.
92%,
Yeah.
which is pretty. That's up there.
Mm.
I'm not sure what it was today because she was running there today, but she was pretty good.
What are the male and female parkrun course records?
Dwayne Caldercut, 15:46.
Mm-hmm.
And Bella Earl 17:14. Now I haven't looked at today's results, but I don't think they would have. I don't think they would have beaten that. I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
And then the highest participants at Parkrun previously was 317.
384 last Saturday for Collins 20th, and on the 20th of January for a Centurion run. And I don't think that'll be beaten for a while.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Because that's just about max for the course. I was amazed how well it did go,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I was and when I stood there and I saw all those black shirts and the whole grass area was full. And I thought, what's this going to be like? What's the start going to be like?
Yeah.
So that's why we've changed the start. Is we asked the walkers to go first, because when we used to say, go to the start line, everybody went across at the same time.
I see.
So now we're trying to get the walkers to go first,
Yeah.
and get them to go back, and then the runners. We're just trying to make it safer, and anything we can improve, we just have a look at things. And Martin and I will talk 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah,
Yeah. You'd have to.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which Whangarei parkrunner has run the most parkruns?
I think that's Andy Mears.
Andy Mears?
Yeah,
He'd be close to 300 now, wouldn't he?
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's
297. Yeah, 298. So he's got about 2 to go.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh.
Yeah,
Nice.
and he's heading back. Heading back to England.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So
Oh. And then who has volunteered the most? I would imagine that's
Jan's done
our
photography 318 times. I've got 275.
Damn.
But mine is mainly, my biggest one is the volunteer coordinator. Because
Yeah.
we can put anybody down. We've got one thing that we say, if you help put the, shut the place down, put gear away,
Yeah.
we can put you down as a volunteer.
I see.
Yeah.
That. But I've done actually 393 different I can do 2 or 3 different things on a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
The only thing that like a run director, the run director can only do one job that day.
Yeah, and that's run direct.
Run director, because
Yeah.
the run director overrules everybody else.
Yeah.
Overrules Martin, myself, and even our event ambassador from
Yeah.
Auckland. If he says it should be cancelled and the run director says, no, I think it's safe enough or whatever, wait, that's what happens.
And that's kind of the way it should be, though, right?
Yeah,
Has
yeah.
it ever been canceled?
Once.
What was it for?
It was there was a big
Flood?
storm here,
Yeah.
and the BP service station on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
It was on Riverside. It was just about under. It was flooded there, and Martin was the run director that day. He rang me up Friday night, and he says, "What do we do?" And he says, he's on the civil defence out at Whangarei Heads where he lives, and he said it's essential travel only.
Yeah, that's
And
the thing, eh?
Oh,
I
it's
said,
essential
okay, I said,
only.
fine. I said, parkrun's not essential.
Yeah.
And I said, push the button. So the little thing we've got to push, bang, that's it, cancelled. Then it goes over to Australia and England, and
Yeah.
you've got to put something on it. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
cancelled once.
Yeah, because I remember that day, and it wasn't necessarily about the event itself. It was getting to the event
Yeah,
was putting people at risk.
yeah.
Because of the flooding?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the civil defence said essential travel only.
Yeah.
That's kind of where
So it was
go.
a simple decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the smallest number was Andy Mears was the run director, and it was the Kerikeri half marathon, and it was shocking weather.
Yeah.
He had 7 people.
seven. Yeah,
So Andy holds the record for the smallest number.
yeah. There was more volunteers than finishers.
More volunteers than
Yeah.
finishers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to be one of the 7.
So but it's good fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even the day it was cancelled, essential travel cancelled, people still turned up and ran.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the course was good to run.
Yeah,
It was just getting there, which was the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people said, no, Harriers are never cancelled and all that sort of stuff. I said, well, civil defence, they say something, you go by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Anything else, Ron?
Anything else, Ron?
No, I don't. No, I think we just about covered everything. But it's
Yeah.
just, hey, I could talk about anything you want to say about parkrun because I just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one thing I would say is, if anybody's interested in even having a look at some of the systems, I mean, the results can be, once the last person has scanned the QR code when you either time key barcode scanning, the results are there ready
Yeah.
to be done.
Yeah.
And it's just a good, I mean, we started off with stopwatches that you had to download onto a computer and
That was very difficult back in those days,
It
eh?
was,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was very tedious.
Yeah.
It was. There. And we had a little wee barcode scanner with about as big as my thumb. And he used to scan all these things, and then one day it wasn't scanning.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But it was scanning, but someone had turned the volume button off. So we didn't know we were going to get any times.
Yeah.
And the other, Jim, he won't kill me for this, but everybody's going to know now that there was one day that we didn't have any results, times.
Okay.
And Jim was run director. He was doing the results. So he rang around a few people and he put their times in and he looked at other people's, we had the names, he looked at other people's times, put their time in so they wouldn't get a PB in their
Yep.
finishing position.
Yeah.
And not one person complained.
Nobody knew.
Because normally if there's a muck-up like that, everybody gets 95, 95.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
interesting.
no,
That's
there
pretty
was just
good
that
math.
one time, and Jim must have spent a lot of time
Yeah.
going through the results and doing it all.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's the only one time,
Yeah.
yeah. But Jim, he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up until today, only about 2-3 people know about that, but everybody knows
Now
about
everyone's
it now.
going to know, Ron.
Oh, well.
Oh, well, thank
No.
you so much, Ron, for coming on today. I think if anybody has any questions or want to hear more from you,
Yeah.
then they can always come up and approach you
Yeah,
after
yeah.
parkrun or before parkrun.
Before any time,
Yeah.
put
yeah.
a message on our Facebook page or send a message.
Yeah.
We answer it. Yeah, we are trying to answer it. I'm on the email every day and look at that every day, so it's good.
What's the email address?
Email is just Whangarei@parkrun.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy.
Cool.
Yeah, and the other thing, anybody's writing anything about parkrun is always lowercase.
There you go. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and it's all one word too.
All
so
one
it's-
word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All lowercase park run. Yeah. Cool.
That's cool. I can I just chip in with the
Please.
thank yous? I just want to thank you guys for creating such an awesome event.
Mm-hmm.
It did have very humble beginnings. I remember coming along late 2016, early 2017 when I was a bit chubbier, and there'd be 30 finishes on those Saturdays, and Jim would be like, "Oh, good numbers today, guys." We're like,
What's going to happen when we get up to 50?
yeah.
Cool.
And then
And
get
now-
up to 100.
Yeah.
And now,
If we get under
Yeah.
200, it's a bad day.
it's incredible to see how far it's come. So thank you to you and your crew of volunteers for creating such a cool community.
Yeah, we've
It's
got
awesome.
a good group of run directors.
Yeah,
Three
you do.
more in the wings. I might be able to stand down soon.
That's cool.
But we've
Nice.
got you can do your run director for 2 weeks, and then you've got roughly 20 weeks before your next turn.
Nice.
That's it. So
Yeah.
got another 3 sort of just waiting for them to sign a little bit of paper.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, cool. Do you want to
Yeah.
wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, listeners. We could not be here without you tuning in and listening to us chat about parkrun. And we are really grateful and lucky to have Ron here today because he is the founder of our Whangarei parkrun. And I think I have always appreciated how approachable he is to even talk about running, but parkrun especially. So thank you, listeners, and thank you, Ron.
Yeah.
A big thank you to our favorite show sponsor, Trek Trail and Fish. You can visit them at trektrailfish.co.nz, and please get all your running gear there. Remember, you can get flapjacks, you can get Goodar sunglasses, you can get shoes, you can get all kinds of things that you want to get from there.
Even
you
water?
also can get a 10% off your purchase if you use the code capital R, capital A 10. So RA 10. And again, that'll get you 10% off your purchase. Yep. If you're new to the Run Adjacent podcast, please do follow or subscribe to whatever platform that you have, whether that be Spotify or Apple. You're able to find our Run Adjacent on Instagram or on Facebook at Run Adjacent. We have got some really great new gear in the horizon someday, maybe.
Someday.
Yeah. Bucket hats galore.
I got a bucket hat. Hey, if you want a bucket hat, reach out to me on Instagram.
Yep.
I've only got 4 left, but
Yep.
they're $30 each. I'm only making $5 per bucket hat, but the money's going in towards the podcast. I'm not doing it to profit and make millions of dollars.
No.
No,
Yeah, and they're
but yeah.
cool. Yeah, they help protect your ears. All right. Well, thank you all, and until next time,
Happy running! That was good.
Yeah. Thank you, Ron.
That was
amazing.
awesome, Ron.
Oh.